Every day, the Jordanian military and other countries are dropping aid into northern Gaza using planes like the one behind me. The situation in Gaza is catastrophic. People have been dying from hunger, including babies, every single day. Israel controls what goes in and out of Gaza, and it has blamed Hamas for the hunger crisis. UN agencies said the best way to get aid into Gaza is an immediate ceasefire and then unfettered access to all areas of Gaza by land. In the interim, whilst that's not possible, one of the ways is to drop it from the skies. The quickest way to get aid into Gaza is via trucks, and that is where the cost also comes in. One think tank in Washington last year estimated that for a single one of these planes to go is 42 times more expensive than a truck going from Cairo into Gaza and back again. Looking down at Gaza from the sky, it is chilling. The ground is basically an ashen fire pit. Swathes of Gaza City are no longer standing. It is just a tyranny of dust and ash. And you can see families living in tents on the beaches. You could see people crowding around what looks like the rare aid convoys getting in. It was utterly heartbreaking to see. This Jordanian military plane is preparing to drop 8 pallets of supplies that you can see behind me into Gaza. But this method of getting aid in is deeply controversial. Rights groups and the UN have said that it's inefficient, it's expensive, and in some cases can be deadly. Last year, 5 people died when one pallet box dropped from the sky. The parachute allegedly failed to deploy and it crushed them to death. But at the moment, there are few options to get aid into Gaza, as Israel has intermittently imposed a full and partial blockade, blaming Hamas for that. It is very expensive to fly these C-130s over Gaza and then drop the aid, and you can't target where the aid goes to. These effectively pallets here, they have parachutes on them and they basically float down to Gaza, landing wherever. In recent days, they've even landed in the sea, and we've seen footage of Palestinians having to pull sodden bags of flour from the water. Aid groups are unanimous, and the UN is also unanimous in their call for a total ceasefire and for Israel that controls what goes in and out of Gaza to lift the siege and allow a massive flood of supplies in. Because one of the other issues in dealing with severe malnutrition is that you need special therapeutic food and medicine. That kind of food and medicine cannot be dropped from the sky. The medicine is way too vulnerable for that, but also it needs to be administered by medical practitioners. So this at the moment is basically a plaster for an absolutely catastrophic situation that's happening in Gaza.